last couple weeks or anything you guys thought of. Today, we're going to talk a little more about the foot stuff, but thank you, Jan and Susie, for sending the information about the dry brushing.
Oh, right.
So, and there are two YouTube videos and one Self magazine articles on dry brushing. And I don't want to go into everything, but I just wanted to introduce or kind of give you some ideas but I think you should just watch the video, and there are two different approach, and it just you know depend on what you prefer. And also if you have any type of surface lymphatic drainage stuff, you really need to, if you have compromised lymph nodes, or if you have lymph nodes taken from one side, and if you have lymphedema, it's something that you really need to be careful of, and you don't want to overload the side that is compromised. So be careful with that. And lymphatic drainage for like cancer patients, you need to be like super certified to do it. You can't be a massage therapist to do it. You can't be a doctor to do it. You need to be specifically trained to do the lymphatic drainage for some of the breast cancer patients who have some lymphatic lymph nodes removed. So just be aware. And one of the person on the YouTube video, she is the certified trained lymphatic drainage physical therapist, and it's really interesting, and it's lymphatic movement stuff that she mentions, and I kind of wanted to kind of piggyback on showing and looking at what the lymphatic system is, just a little bit. And somebody asked about what does this tongue diagnose thing. I just kind of mentioned it a little bit about. I talked a little bit about what the tongue manifests and what does it mean and stuff earlier, but I just kind of want to be a little more just get into a little more in details, but not too much, then it's going to drive you crazy. So we're going to talk about the tongue and the feet stuff, toes and feet stuff that I have shown. If you have any injuries, arthritis, or fused joints, be really careful. Don't do a lot of grabbing, but focus on increasing the circulation. And also, your feet are not used to moving a lot. So make sure you keep them warm and not working too much on grabbing, but starting with the just wiggling. These are my hands, but wiggling your toes to just let them know you guys can be independent from each other. And working on that. This is my hand, but I think it's a foot. So the metatarsal bones, these are those separate bones here. This is metacarpal on your hand, but on your feet, it's metatarsal. Working in between these. So make sure you're working on the meaty part of your foot. And also, get your soles and heels. Okay. So any questions? We move into.
I just have a comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, this is Diane.
Hi.
I just had a comment. After last week, I did the foot massage every day since last week for 10 minutes on each side. Right. And I can tell you it works.
Yay!
It works. No,
How do
I'm
you
going
feel?
to go into detail about why it works, but it does relate to the bladder.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, it does work. So I am going to be doing that every day.
Yay. That's great. Great. Thank you for sharing that. It's very good. Okay. So let me go into the screen share. Share. Wait. All right. Show. Yeah. So we gotta talk more about the self-care. Did I get the date right? March 4th?
Yes.
I'm back to the present. I was living in the past. Okay, so I just wanted to mention about the seasons, and I was just thinking about different native cultures, and I'm just in the beginning of studying I'm interested in Native American cultures because I live on their land, so I feel like that's what at least I can do to pay respect and show some appreciation, and also to kind of embrace. I mean, they lived on this land, so
Right.
all the knowledge and the wisdom came from
Right.
where we sit right now. So I'm very interested in Native American culture, and also I it's there are a lot to. I mean, a lot of Native culture has many things in common, and Native American has this medicine wheel. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but it looks like this, and they are um, four directions, right? North, east, south, and west, and they have different elements, and they also have applied that into different stages of life. So, so the life is not linear, like how, I don't know, most of us tend to think, but it's more circular. And the circular thing, I think it's like very common in many cultures. Um, like in Chinese medicine with the five elements, right? So they have four things, and there are different, I found two different things, but so the north is white, and that is the air, and that's the mental aspect and wisdom and logic, which is which means the elder. And east is yellow and sun and fire, so it's more like energetic part. um Enlightenment, and that is, oh, it doesn't does it say anything about the life stage on this little thing? No, it doesn't. Okay, the south is red, and the element is water, and it's the emotional aspect, and it's, no, sorry, I'm turned around. So the yellow is the youth,
Okay.
and the fall is the black. It's winter. Okay, so that's the adult, elder. Yellow is the youth, and this is between youth and adulthood. So it goes around here this way. So in Chinese medicine that we did, um, besides the 5 elements, so we had fire and earth, metal, and water, and wood, right? That's the 5 element. And fire is the heart, water is the kidney, the earth is the spleen, stomach, metal is lung, wood is liver. So this also is kind of different model. So another model is have earth in the middle, and the south is the fire. I'm not spelling it right. Fire. Did I do it right? Fire. South. North is water. So that's kidney and heart. And east, no, east is this way, right? East is liver. West is lung. And in 4 seasons, because we're dividing, well, let's talk about the 4 seasons in 5 element circle. Of course, that's the summer. And kidney is the winter. So it's always heart and kidney is in the opposite end, right? And the metal is fall, and wood is spring. That's right now. So let's talk about the wood later, but that's spring. Okay. So, and what's earth in this model is the late summer, but it's easier to think in this model. So that's summer, fall, winter, and spring. Okay. And we are here right now. So spring is when things start to expand. Yin is more becoming yang. Toward the summer is the extreme yang, right? The yang as yang, right? So the spring, things start to, trees and flowers start to bloom, right? And we have more energy. We it's a good time to, so winter time we don't want to do, well, according to the Era Emperor book. So winter is time to just kind of retrieve and rest and eat and, you know, rejuvenate. The spring is time to do more of a more vigorous exercise to expend. It's okay to expend a little more energy during the winter time. So just wanted to mention that. And in Hawaiian culture, so there are different seasons, but one of the cultural division is when everybody rest and not have wars, and also the seasons that you go out there and fight with each other. So a little violent, but it's ancient, and we all did that. We all went out and battled, and then we retrieved, and you have to recuperate first so you can fight again. So the next week, the 13th, is the new moon, and that is when the rest and eat and dance instead of fight into let's go out there and fight for your own tribe season. So we're all kind of getting into this more energetic seasons, and you probably start to feel it. I feel it because I tend to have, my stomach is the weakest part. So anything happens, it goes to my stomach. So I have been having like past, I'm getting better now, but I past like week, I been waking up with like sour stomach, which I don't normally have, but I things are changing, and of course I've been stressed out, studying for it. But I think, and also the seasons too. But I had all kind of digestive issues, and going back to this um, four seasons model with the Earth in the middle. So each changing of the season, in between seasons, there's always, so from the winter going to the spring, in transition, it's always goes through the Earth. So the winter is ending, goes through the Earth and goes out to the spring. Come back to the Earth, go back to fire. Come back to the Earth, go back to the fall. So I feel it because I tend to have more stomach issues in between seasons. So I don't know if you guys, I'm prone to have digestive issues, but if you're prone to have certain other stuff, like if you get more dry coughs, you get allergies. So actually allergies, like the nose stuff, is related to your stomach channel, right? It's like, runs through your face and your sinuses and your nose. So if you have runny nose, that's also like, it's also could be the stomach issues and stomach channel issues. So kind of interesting.
Question. So what would lungs be?
Lungs will be the fall season.
Yes.
So the lung
What channel?
is all upper arm.
Okay.
So lung is very short. Starts so lung 1 is right here, and lung 11 ends on your index finger. Just
Okay.
it's on inside.
Okay.
So inside kind of thumb end aspect of your arm is the lung channel.
Okay.
And also lung fall is between the heat of summer into the cold winter, and it gets dry, and the lung is prone to dryness. So that's why the fall season there are a lot of seasonal vegetables are cooling but moistening, like pears, persimmons. So that's why it's good to eat that earlier in the season. Then you don't want to keep eating it because it gets too cold, and it's in the winter, it's already cold, so you don't want to be too cold. Right? Cool. Any other questions? Good. All right. So next, I just show you the body brushes for the dry brushing tool. Any brushes works, but the person on YouTube, and also I recommend find the ones that is comfortable on your skin. You don't want to use too harsh a brush, and the natural soft bristle will be a good one. I'm planning on taking my walk to the rainbow next week and just look for one. And there is one with, I don't know if the one with the handle, yeah, you can reach back, but I kind of like this one. You don't really need to reach all the way back, right? So you could just go here, you could go here, you know, anything you can reach, but just to kind of give you different models. So there's the one with the handle, there's the one with the detachable handles, there's the one with the little band so you could like slip into your hands. There's a little knob that you can keep it in between your fingers. And that looks a little harsh, but I mean, like, ouch. That looks like it's good. It cleans the
Bottle brush.
the bottle. Yeah. I
Ouch.
don't know.
How can you tell how harsh they are?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, when you go in, and I'm sure they show you the dimension of it. So, Susie, what type do you have? You're unmuted. Unmute yourself. I can't mute. Unmute. Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
two, of them. I have one that is the long handle and you remove the long handle and then you have the one and then it's just for your hand, the brush.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like 2 in 1. And then the other one I have is down on this bottom right-hand corner that's kind of, it's just a medium length one.
This one?
So
Yeah.
those two, yeah.
Okay. And do you use the one with the handle?
I do, but most of your body is reachable
Right.
with the shorter brush. But when you want to get your back,
Yeah.
and you want to reach into the top of your back,
That's true. Yeah.
you kind of need the handle.
Okay. So you like the detachable handle with the,
Yeah,
right?
because it's 2 in 1.
That's good. Okay. So, and 2 videos that I think, Jan, do you have the list that you sent to everybody, or you're are going to send?
The list of what?
Of the emails and I mean not the emails, but the YouTube links, or are we putting it on the chat?
No, I sent it out.
I received.
Oh, okay.
All
So you
three of
guys
the
got
ones
it?
I sent out. Yeah, for the YouTube stuff.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Okay, so in that email, it's a link. So the one link is the link to the article, the
Mhm.
Self Magazine article that Susie found. Thank you very much. And these 2 are the one that Susie found, and the other one from Jan. So 2 different people, and she's PT, and she is just a natural person. She does the self-care. Looks like she's the raw vegan, plant-based stuff. So, and I just wanted to, I have a couple of screenshots just to show you what's in it. So you can always go into the your links and watch it, but I just want to give you the just going to give you a little introduction. So the first person, this Olivia person, she does start from the bottom of the feet, go up, do the tummy, then do the chest, work on your arms, and do the back. So basically that's what she does. The second person, she talks about, of course, because she's the, she talks more about the lymphatic system, but she starts from the abdominal. And I'm going to go into the lymphatic system and how it's divided and what drains to what. But she said, start from the tummy, upward movement. She said, they say toward the heart, but think about the lymph nodes. But actually, if you think about toward the heart, it's always toward the lymph nodes anyway. So you end on your armpit. When you start on your arms, you end on the armpit. If you start on your feet, it's always end on the groin. So that's where the main lymph nodes are, or the groups of the lymph nodes are. So, if you can't think of where are the lymph nodes, but like if you think about toward the heart from away from the heart you got it. So, and I mentioned a little bit earlier when she talks about if you have the healthy functioning lymph nodes, go toward that direction. But if you're, let's say this lymph node, the lymph nodes are not as functional, you go across. So if don't go into it, if you have any swelling or lymphedema on your arms, do not go into that armpit on that section. So if in that case, go across the other armpit or go down to the groin, which always will grow into, coming back to this heart area anyway. So that's her recommendation.
I have,
And so, yeah, go ahead.
I had professional, medical lymph massage after my breast cancer.
Uh-huh.
And she even did it, and and she also taught me, but to use your fingertips right there instead of a brush. And it's very, very light stroking to get that lymph material moving, because I'm using on my left side, they took out my lymph nodes to test them. They're fine, but they're gone. And also to just like, so you have to think about moving. I mean, we have this ocean inside of us that they don't really know that much about. Nobody does. But that, we get lymph nodes swollen, so if I have allergies, I eat something right under my thing, where our lymph, when you feel it. But if you just, but anyway, that's all I wanted to say, is that if anything hurts, my lymph massage person told me to use my fingers very lightly.
And even with the brush too, just be gentle. You don't want to scrub it. You're not scrubbing off. And also if you have the skin issues, be careful. Make sure if you have anything happening with your skin, don't do that point. Wait till it's completely healed and it's not too sensitive. And also these lymphatic system is on the surface. So they say just the dime, weight of a dime. That's all the pressure you need to move the lymphatic system. So yeah, so you don't have to
digging,
just like the fingers. And it's like weight of a dime. So okay, so one of the things that I liked about this person was that you are starting from upper body. So you start at the tummy and did the arms, then do the legs and the bottom of the feet at the end. So I kind of like that routine better than so if you don't mind, working on your feet and coming up here, but I think it's better to. So that was I think that's the main thing. It's just because after you're done with the brush, I would think you would clean the brush and dry it. And when you use it next time, so that's one of the, it's like maybe that might be. So the first person start right into like, just start with the heel. So I'm like, okay, so you're going to have a different brush for the upper body. So that was the only kind of problem that I had with the first person. So now talk about the lymph system. So anything, so there's the I think that's the belly button, right? And there's the midline. So everything from, well, everything kind of, that's the armpit. So the main thing is the armpit and the groin. Everything kind of, that's like the gathering before they go back into the so this is the major, this is where you need to return. So the last stop before they all go in is here. So in the back, everything comes to the front first, then goes back. So the back, you just need to think about just going out and toward the center line. So divide your back at your spine, and this side goes here, this side goes out. Then just think if it's above, the belly button goes up, and if it's below, the belly button goes to, and also on your leg goes here, right? That makes sense? And it goes, that goes here, and this goes, okay? And that's also, is that clear?
I don't know what's going.
No, it's good. You know,
Yeah, all
that second video, that the blonde, I guess is how I would say it, is
Mhm.
really good. And I would really have everybody look at that one more than the girl in the black bikini, because she
Mhm.
really gives so much great information.
Well, she does it professionally too, so
Yeah.
she does it great job on explaining too. So
And then they'll
yeah.
understand about the lymph nodes.
So let me show you with, so in lymphatic, let's go back to stop share. So the they, in the lymphatic system, you have to open the final destination first, then go the closest to the furthest, but always toward. I know I'm not making that much sense, but let's talk about the upper body. So this is where you open first, right? So you do this, then you start closest to the final destination. Let's say that's it. Closest to it, but toward. So here, and go down a little bit, go down a little bit, okay, right? Go down and up, go down. So the general direction goes out, but the small direction is always this way. So here, this way. Okay. And then at the end, you do a long stroke, right? So the legs, you have the big lymphatic lymph nodes in the back of your knee. So, and on the groin, so you do some kind of light brushing here, and then go up, right, around the knee, and open this up, then go from here, then do the long stroke. How's that? Did that make sense? Okay, good, good. Okay, so what time is it? Okay, so let's, do you want to work on your feet or anything you want to review in the technique wise?
I vote for feet.
Feet. You want to do feet? Yes, good. Work the feet. So let's take 5-minute break and work on the feet, and we'll come back and talk about the tongue. Okay. All right. All right. So what time is it? 4:42. So be back at 4:47.
Okay.
And you need some kind of lotion or lubricant,
And a towel.
towel, or the sit up the feet, right, to work on your feet. Let me get my feet back. Cut. 4:47.
Hey, Diane, when you were talking about how working on your feet made such a difference, would you be willing to share what it helped?
Sure. What I'm doing in the doctor's office is I'm doing that acupuncture. You know, they put a needle in your ankle by the nerve. Do you know what that is? And then, well, it's from the urologist's office. So they put 2 needles in both your ankles, right on the points where Akiyo'S said the nerve comes up.
Okay.
You know, right above that ankle bone. So she puts a little acupuncture needle in there, and then she connects it to this box, which is an electric box.
Oh, yeah.
And then she turns it up until I can't, until I say, okay, that's enough. And I'm in there for half an hour. So every 3 weeks. And so what I did, Akiyo showed me how to do was massaging the feet. I did it just like she showed me, especially down the point of my ankle where the office puts the acupuncture needle in my leg, in my ankle, because that's where I concentrate. And then I pull up like Akiyo showed me so I'm stretching that nerve all the way up my leg. And I do it on both sides. And so I do it 10 minutes on each leg every single day.
Wow.
And, so the result is
stretching over and over, doing this for 10 minutes.
I massage the toes in between and the feet and do everything she said. That's what I do. The toes, the feet, and then I will stretch it up like that.
So is that for your allergies or?
No, it's for my bladder. It's for to make my bladder hold more urine.
Gotcha.
And it stopped. Whatever, you know. It's just I'm old, you know, and I'm losing control because I don't feel it. And so I've been doing that going to the doctor for quite a while, and it does work. But when I added what Akiyo showed me this past week, I noticed that I can feel my bladder. Actually, it gets a little bit full, not just continually dripping,
Yeah.
if you want to. I
Yeah.
mean, it's getting
Wow,
pretty.
that's great.
That's amazing.
So
Yeah.
Good
interesting.
job.
It is amazing. So
Yeah.
the combination of those two things, you know, is stimulating that nerve, which goes up to my hip, then it goes to my bladder. And so it makes my bladder hold more urine. And it's a huge, I can tell it's just a big difference.
Wow, that's great.
That those two combos together. And so, you know, it's a little bit of a deal. You got to sit down every night. I mean, I'm doing it now as we speak, you know, for 10 minutes, but I just watch TV and I just do whatever,
Yep.
you know, she told us to do. And I really feel I had a big difference.
Wow.
Thank you for
great.
sharing that.
Wow.
That's so good to hear.
Yeah, so I would definitely try it. I mean, I get the other treatment too, but so you might have to do it for more than a week, but I can tell you it really works because the tracks, like she said, goes up both sides. So I make sure that I do both sides and I do both sides of my feet and especially that baby toe.
Mhm,
I do
mhm.
that toe. Yeah.
Yeah, the baby toe is the urinary bladder,
Yeah.
and inside, so
Yeah.
outside is the urinary bladder, inside is the kidney, which is related. It's the paired organ with the urinary bladder. So so that's, they support each other too.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
kidney function in Chinese medicine is, it's, you know, the bladder control, bladder health. So
Yeah.
perfect.
And I can actually feel when I need to go to the bathroom. I can, and what that kind of was gone, you know, and I'm
So
just
you have a sensation of filling up, like the full
yes,
bladder
yes,
sensation.
yes,
Oh, wow. Wow.
yeah, cool.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Oh, you're
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's so
welcome.
cool.
that's great. Okay, are we all back? Okay. I'm gonna do the foot camera. Okay, so here I have my share batter and my foot. First, my feet are cold today, so I'm gonna go a little gentle. Are we ready?
Yes.
Ready.
Okay. All right. So if your hands are not warm, you can warm your hands, or you can start with your lotion or cream and warm the lotion. And first, you are gonna spread this all the way from your ankle area to the tip of your toes, right, and the back of the foot, and in between your toes. You're just saying hello to your toes. And now very gently, so you're gonna go here, you're gonna go forward and back. So think about bending from your foot knuckles, right? So not just your toes, but the where you're pushing is right where the knuckles are. Forward, go back, gently make sure that make sure this shouldn't hurt. Make sure this is comfortable. Back, forward, back, forward, back. Now you are going out and pull in, right? Spread the top of the foot, bottom of the foot, top, bottom, top, bottom, top. Okay. Now let's do in between the bones. Gently slide up to about here. You can stick your finger in, right? So gently, so make sure you have enough cream, or you should be able to slide your fingers. Okay. Between.
What's that doing?
It's just working the muscles between your toes. Because your toes and our toes don't know how to be independent from each other. And also those are the main lines that the meridian starts. Remember the okay. So inside, use the kind of like side of the finger. Right. So side of the toe, big toe. So first you could start this way, or you could start one finger, or your hand knuckles. Get into the heel, side of the heel, below your below this bumpy bone. Okay, now let's go outside. Just get outside of the pinky toe. Just kind of do a little scraping. Right. And use either this, one finger, whatever you're comfortable with. Just work the side of where, right, there's the top part of the skin becomes the sole of the foot kind of skin, right? You feel there's a line, and you want to work that line up and down, right? And you want to work the side of the heel. Okay. Now, work around this bone with your fingers. Okay. So use your whole body. So you want to lean into it with the fingers and pull back, lean forward, pull back, lean forward, pull back. Around that ankle bone. You can go one way and you can go the other way. And down, forward, and up. And work the front part. You feel a little bit of a depression there. And work in between the tendons and bones. Make sure you're staying on the meaty part. Okay. All right. So now grab your metatarsal. So you're gonna do this, right? So grab and push up and down, up and down. Move on to the second and third. Okay. third and fourth, fourth and fifth. Okay, just work around. Okay, now options. If you can comfortably put your fingers interlaced with your toes, do it. But if you have arthritis, anything that this is not very comfortable, and all you're going to do is grab the metatarsal part, not your toes, but grab the top part of the foot, top portion of the foot. Okay? And then you're going to do the circles. Let's do 8 times. 2, slowly. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and relax. And say thank you. Thank you, foot. And if you want to add, going up at the end, but we'll move on to the other foot because the other foot is getting jealous. Okay. The foot comes up and ready for the other one. Now put the cream lotion. Okay. Make sure it's warm. Then just put all over your ankles, between your toes, the heel area, around the ankle bones. And work in between your toes. Say hello. Now, forward and back. Okay. Forward, back. Again, make sure you don't push too far. Back. Work with your comfortable range of movement. Forward, back. One more each way and back. Okay, now out. So open this top, pull the bottom, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, and in. Okay, now let's work the inside. So the side of the big toe. Just get so think of that line, right? The line between the top part of the foot meets the bottom part of the foot. So first, just work on your toe area. Then you could use your fingers or your entire fist. Work that line. Now work on the below the ankle bone area, side of the heel. Okay, same thing on the other side. So the pinky toe, work the outer part first on your finger part. I mean toe part, it's not the finger, it's the toe part. Okay, now get that line on the side. Okay, now below the ankle bone. Okay. Now let's work around the ankle bones. Okay. Do the circles. So lean with your fingers, lean back, lean forward with your fingers, lean back with the fingers. You can do one direction, then you can switch to the other
How
direction.
hard are you pressing?
It's a good pressure where you feel, make sure you feel comfortable and you're feeling a good pressure. You're staying on the meaty part, but not hard, but little more than stroking, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, and work the front part of your ankle. Just stay on look for the meaty part and look for like a depression between the bones and tendons. Okay. Now let's work on the shifting, right? Hold on to the metatarsal area. So grab first and second and go up and one up, one down, one up, one down. First and second. Now second and third. Third and fourth. And fourth and fifth. Okay. Now so the option 1, interlace your fingers to your toes. Option 2, grab the metatarsal bone on your feet. And you're going to do the circles. Okay. 8 times slowly. So move with your body, not just your arms. So lean back, forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and thank your feet. Thank you very much. And you can get your kind of up stroke movement. Okay. Any questions? How was it?
Very nice.
Very
Wonderful.
good.
Really good. Thank you.
Good, good.
Thank you.
I've noticed that my health of my feet has improved in the last
Really?
3. Yeah, they look better. They feel
That's great.
better. And yeah. And you know, and then I think it allows us to have better self-care.
Yes.
It's a reminder. It's a great
Yes.
reminder.
Perfect.
Yeah.
This is why we're doing this.
I see why it's improving my health.
I feel like my feet have more energy.
Ah.
Not that I'm on my feet like I used to be, but just,
Uh-huh.
I don't know, I feel more energized. I feel like there's a little bit more of a bounce in my step, you know?
Huh.
I feel there is a big difference, like everybody's saying.
And I think because we are kind of stimulating the bottom part of our feet, which I mean literally gives us a little spring, right? The arches provides the spring. So, you know,
Yes.
yay. Okay. So if you need to wash your hand, go wash your hands and we'll talk about
No more agony of defeat.
oh,
Oh, God.
Mm.
Good one.
very nice. You are so poetic. Okay, so and make sure you relax with something warm to drink. Okay, I want to talk about the tongue. This is really simple. Tongue. So if you are familiar with acupuncture and Chinese medicine, one of the diagnosing tool, like X-rays and MRIs in Chinese medicine, is the tongue and pulse, and it's the tongue and what they do, the color and the coating and the color of the color of the body of the tongue, the shape and the crack and whatnot. There are the manifestation of what's happening in your body. So, and they are different regions and there's locations and stuff. So let me, is everybody back? Are we good?
Mhm.
All right, so I'm going back to share screen. Share. What? It's connecting. Oh, it's working. Good. All right, so we did so now we did the lymph system. Okay, here's your tongue.
Oh,
So
cool.
this is the tip, right? And this is the back of the, so this is toward the throat, right? That's the throat,
Yes.
right? So that good? And so these are the kind of like a general location. So this is like the chest area, right? On the tip. The middle, again, is the digestive area, liver, gallbladder area. So if you are stressed out, the side of the tongue gets a little red. Kidney, bladder, intestine, that is the lower, where the pelvic cavity area. So, and I don't want to go too much in depth. Then I don't want you like keep looking at your tongue and going like I am gonna die. Just you're not gonna die. So, but start looking at your tongue like every morning, and those like whether you brush your tongue or not, those coating won't fall off if you brush. So if you're gonna brush your tongue, it's okay, because like it's not gonna change the state of your tongue. But the coating is is one of the things that we look at. The normal tongue. So let's talk about the normal tongue. Normal tongue is pinkish with the thin white coat is the normal or the ideal tongue. You should have the coating almost kind of entire surface of your tongue, but the side and the tip tend to miss coating because life is stressful. So if you have a cold and you have some upper respiratory issues with cough and stuff, this might get a little redder, and it might get dried up and not have, like, you might have the coat missing. Again, like if you're stressed out, you might get this. And now, do you know, I think I always have the scalloped, it's like a tooth mark on the side of the tongue, because that's the spleen not functioning. That doesn't mean my spleen is failing. Again, I am just my natural state. I tend to have a weak digestive system, so I always have scallops on my side of the tongue, and sometimes it gets better. I only have like 1 or 2 little ripples on the side, and it gets clear, and that's like the best state of my tongue. So that I know that I can eat anything on that day. And also the crack. Sometimes you have crack in the middle. I have permanent crack like this on my tongue, which again, it shows I've always had the stomach and spleen issues. It's like, as far as I remember, it's like, since I was a little, anything happens, my tummy hurts. Like my tummy hurts. It's the upper abdominal. I don't have diarrhea, but I have tummy ache. So school stuff, exams, my tummy hurts. It goes to my tummy. Some goes to, sometimes you have a headache. It might goes to the redness on the side because you're stressed out, or goes to here. This part tend to have a thicker coat for a lot of people, but I think because a lot of us carry a more dampness. But if you, let's talk about the color of the coating. So white is no heat, yellow is heat, and darker yellow gets more heat. When you have cold, same thing with your, when you blow your nose, and like sometimes it's just, sometimes it gets really disgusting. So the green is the heat, yellow is the heat, green is like extreme heat, right? But it's when you don't have the heat, it's the clear or white mucus. So the color of the mucus, color of the coating. So just be start to be like aware of it. And it doesn't change. It takes more time for the change to start to show on your tongue. So, you know, if you start eating more cooked vegetables and you feel better, but your tongue stays the same, it just takes a little more time for the tongue to show the improvement.
What about a purple color on the tongue?
Purple color shows it's the blood stagnation, which is like if you have pain, it might show purplish color. So the stagnation causes either pain, discomfort, mass, like if you have a tumor, that's a stagnation. So the dampness is like the wet coat. So there's a coat, but thick white coat, and that is also wet. That shows the dampness. So it could be the bladder issues, prostate issues, or, you know, if you have that, it might, you know, it's just think about your underlying condition and what does it, you know, what does that, you know, what does your tongue say? But it just, don't diagnose yourself. Don't think you're sick. Just kind of be aware of how your tongue look, and it changes too. So
Well, I always talk to Chinese medicine doctors about my tinnitus, the ringing in my ears. And they're
okay.
always looking at my tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we haven't solved it yet.
Tinnitus is really hard. Everybody, all my teachers say tinnitus is the hardest thing to treat. But it could be coming from the kidney, could be coming from the liver and gallbladder. So that's why you look at like how's her tongue look. Is it heat? Is it cold? Is it dry? Is it
Yeah.
Is it damp? Yeah. So do you get needles put in places?
Oh yes, many years ago I had acupuncture done.
For tinnitus?
It did, yes. It
didn't work?
Tinnitus, no.
Mm.
But I've had acupuncture on my neck when I had a situation, and it really, really helped.
Mm-hmm.
But the tinnitus
is hard. That's what I heard. I never had the case, but that's what all the experts even says. It's really hard to treat.
Yeah.
Did I cover basic stuff? Any other questions? So the coating, the missing of the coating. Sometimes your tongue is like bright red and has like so shiny. So that is the typical yin deficiency, which is you're kind of getting dried up. So you're dried up and the heat is kind of rising up. So you know, you need something like cooling and moistening. It depends, but
What do you mean? What do you mean, like cooling? You need something cooling and moistening.
It's like a pear or so cooling is moistening. So if you have heat, you don't want to just cool it, but you know, the dietary book, it gives you the cooling and moistening like pear, the persimmons, and there's other vegetables and the fruits that are cooling and moistening at the same time, because you want to cool the heat, but also you want to moisten the system, moisten the dryness. Let me stop.
Is it possible to write down the color and what you think it is. Just it's leaning towards this, and it's this color. It's leaning towards that. And this area is, or is there a
Oh, the
something that's
color
already
of the
in
coating?
color? Yeah.
So basically, the darker the color is the heat, right? It's kind of, you know, if you're pale, it's either cold, and the dryness is also when it's dry, it creates the heat. So the darker color is also the heat, dryness. So heat, cold, and wet, which too much wet that creates the dampness. Like the dampness up here is the phlegm, it's the lung and the nose and, you know, the headache and memory issues, because phlegm is like messing up your head, and the phlegm in the bottom part is like the bladder issues, and sometimes like mass, like fibroid tumor, bladder infection. Well, infection is like the dampness and heat, so that's too much. But that kind of gives you like basic idea. I don't want to be like listing 15 different symptoms, but that it's just start looking at your tongue and see what you see.
Well, what if sometimes your tongue kind of is tender? Maybe it's tender where the stomach is, or tender where the heart is. Is that part of it or no?
Maybe. Do you feel like there's a different tenderness in different parts, or it's like without like you accidentally bit your tongue, or when you had the hot drink or anything, but you just
Sometimes the tongue just feels a little inflamed, let's say, a little tenderness, not from biting it, you know.
uh-huh. So pay attention to the areas. The
But
section
is
is
that
it.
part of it or no?
It could be, yeah.
Hmm.
So
Akio,
yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. May I ask, on the spleen, stomach, in the middle of the tongue, mine is just a big red blotch. Otherwise, the tongue looks very normal. Frankly, I suspect it was from eating hot pizza at one time. Can you burn off the top of your tongue?
I think you can.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope that was the reason and nothing more internal.
Well,
You
it
can
could be
get
internal
dark-
if you're eating a lot of greasy, spicy
Right.
meal, it can
Right.
show up in the middle of the tongue too.
Yeah. All
you
right.
can scar your tongue, and your tongue is muscle. So I
Oh,
think
of course.
probably
Yeah.
sprain your tongue or train your tongue, get tongue tied, so forth. Tongue is very mighty, maybe mightier than the sword.
And it's like,
But
have
it
you noticed it heals really quick?
I got to stop eating pizza.
You eat pizza
on
every
it.
day.
Do
Not
lines in your
stop, but like maybe like cut down, maybe.
Right.
do
Yeah,
lines
cut
in
down
your
and see if that shows up in your tongue.
There
If
you
the
go.
middle of the tongue
Okay.
is it right in the middle?
Yes.
Interesting. And did you? It could be your stomach. I'm not diagnosing, but you know, just observe it.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll
So
go from
the
there.
stomach is the. I think if you take care of your stomach, it solves a lot of stuff. I think
Yeah.
it's easier than
Amen.
it's that's where all your chi is coming from now. It's like all the energy is coming. It's everything from outside is coming. So, and we tend to, you know, eat when we're not hungry. We tend to eat just because it looks good, but not when you're actually hungry, right? It's like, I think it's, and we have abundance of food. We don't go hungry. We don't we don't go hunting, and we don't take time to prepare, and we don't chew food, so it's all of us in the modern life. And
What do you call it? One must mindfully eat.
yes, so chewing more, that's a lot.
Okay.
So chewing is medicine.
Oh,
I have a question.
Yes.
So what does the Eastern medicine think about probiotics?
Like yogurt.
Well, not yogurt, but actually taking a supplement, because from what I've heard is that yogurt doesn't have enough for the needs of most people.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, there's different strains that might be in yogurt, but in a higher dosage.
I don't know much about it, and
Okay.
yeah, but I think the intestinal flora is a lot to do with our overall health and even our
Yes.
brain, right? So I don't know.
I know one of my friends who took it. She couldn't heal on her wounds. She kept having open wounds, and she started taking the probiotics, and it helped her heal her wounds.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah. So
I think
I was just
it's
curious.
also the quality, right? It's like is that the capsule that she does?
I don't know. I think she took the capsules. I mean, I think any of it can help, but I've heard that yogurt, while it's good, a lot of times we eat it with sugar, and sugar is the opposite of what you want to do.
And yogurt is
So that's the problem.
Also cooling. So if you're gonna do, so if you need to, like, honey is better than sugar, so get a plain yogurt and add honey, or like it's more wholesome sweetener than the white sugar. Eat with fruits, which is more warming fruits, like the berries, like blueberries are warming. I think cherries warming. Grapes are warming, so you can mix with the warming fruits into yogurt.
have to go.
Yeah, so if you need to eat yogurt first thing in the morning.
Thank you.
Do lines in your tongue mean anything?
I'm sorry?
Do different kinds of lines in your tongue mean anything?
Yes, it depends on where it is. Again, it's I have the deep central crack because I think my spleen and stomach is permanently just very weak. So and I remember like being in high school, and I always like I knew that I already had that. So yeah, I just need to make sure that I'm don't overtask my digestive system. So it's depending on where the line is. Sometimes it goes away. Mine don't go away. Yeah. So again, depend on the section of the tongue where the line is, where the swelling is, if you have where the red dot is. So start licking your tongues and let me know what you think next week. And don't go, oh my God, I'm gonna say I'm getting sick. Just no judgment, just observe, just notice.
Very good session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, teacher.
Everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Don't go yet. Could we do some floor exercise next week?
Okay.
Sure.
Either floor or lying down exercise. So do the setup where you could be comfortably lying on your back. It doesn't have to be the floor. So you can set up on your bedroom too.
Okay.
Fall asleep.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
then we can like,
Bye-bye.
fall asleep,
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Have a good
Take
weekend.
care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
Bye. Take care.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much. See you next
Thanks,
week.
Jen.
Hey, Larry.
Take care, everybody.
Your assignment, Larry, no pizza. Okay.